I don't really think nobody fucking with me anyway, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, 24 fucking honey. I come from that fucking block. I been out that Johnny up and up that cutter. If we cannot get.
Welcome back. We back with another reaction video. Today we're reacting to a Just Thought Lounge video. Someone in this family is lying. The murder of Nada Huranieh? I think that's how you say the name. I might be mispronouncing it, but we're gonna see when we get into it. This is a true crime doc.
In August 2017, police in Farmington Hills, Michigan, responded to an emergency call in a wealthy neighborhood. They were told that a mother of 3 had been the victim of a horrific accident. Except when they arrived, it did not appear to be an accident at all. As investigators began to look around and ask questions, a devious plot emerged, one that suggested that the crime had not only been staged, but also caught on camera. Hi there, I'm Kevin and welcome to Just Thought Lounge. Today's case takes some unexpected turns. It is the story of an investigation that quickly picked up on subtle but significant clues. Yet, one crucial mistake threatened to destroy any hope of justice. Let's take a look. It was just past 6:30 a.m. on an August morning in 2017. Officer Jordan of the Farmington Hills Police was dispatched to a large home in the wealthy Detroit suburb. He was responding to an emergency call placed by 14-year-old Aya Altantawi. Aya had been searching every room in the house that morning for her mother, Nada Huranieh. Nada was eventually discovered outside. She was on the patio to the side of the house, sprawled out on the ground and unresponsive. It appeared that she had fallen from the second-floor window above, which sat open.
We need an ambulance.
What's going on there?
I don't know. We were late for school, so I was finding my mom. And I looked out the window because it was open and it's never open. And she fell.
Your mom fell?
Like 2 stories, yeah.
She fell 2 stories? How old is your mom?
33, I think, and she fell on concrete.
Okay, and you said, all right, is she breathing?
How much is she breathing? Her knuckles just hit her on her neck, I don't know.
Is she breathing?
I'm gonna check if she's breathing.
Okay, and you said she fell over 2 stories?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, this was an accidental fall?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Partway through the call, Aya handed off the phone to her older brother, 16-year-old Muhammad. He began CPR on their mother, who remained motionless on the patio ground.
9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to pick up the pace.
Okay, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So what happened to your mom there?
Looks like she fell off the building.
How did she fall?
I didn't go into the room. I just screamed. I couldn't look.
Okay, do you know how she fell or what she was doing?
Yeah, she was on the top floor. She was washing or cleaning the windows.
She was cleaning the windows?
Yeah.
Officer Jordan was waved onto the property and led to the side patio by Aya. When he approached, he found Muhammad attempting to perform CPR. The officer took over. Unfortunately, after paramedics arrived, it was confirmed that she had no pulse. The Oakland County Medical Examiner's Office took custody of Nada. She was declared dead at the scene of yet unknown causes.
Rest in peace, Nada. Nada, okay, that's...
The 2 teenagers, Aya and Muhammad, explained that their younger sister, who was only 12 years old, was still asleep in her bedroom. They were the only individuals in the house, and to their knowledge, no one else had entered in the night or in the morning before police arrived. Aya explained to responding officers that she was meant to be ready to leave for school by 6:30 a.m. Her mother drove her every day. That morning, as the time to leave approached, she could not locate her mother in the house, and she was not answering her cell phone.
When's the last time you guys saw your mom?
That's suspicious.
What time?
Like maybe 7 or 8. She wants to sleep early.
Okay. And when did you guys find her?
This morning, I called her twice at 6 on both her phones. She didn't answer, so I called her again at 6:30 because we're supposed to be at school by 6:40.
Eventually, Aya checked the guest bedroom and bathroom on the second floor, which they referred to as the makeup room. It is where Nada often got ready in the mornings. In the room, next to an open window, was a ladder, a bucket of water, and container of Tilex cleaner. But her mother was not there.
And there was like cleaning stuff, and she normally cleans like comes to the house in the morning because she wakes up early.
Okay.
So I wanted to look out the window, and I thought that like just in case maybe I doubt it was possible, but she was out there, and then I called my brother and we went outside.
Okay. So this was around 6:30 this morning, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like 6:35.
Okay.
The children's father, Basil Altantawi, lived separately. Their parents' divorce was not yet complete, though the couple had lived apart for over a year.
Why don't you call your dad, okay? See if he can come over here, all right? Just to hang out with you guys while we continue figuring out what's going on with your mom, okay? All right?
I have a different story than her. I did see her this morning.
What time?
I took a shower around 6 o'clock and I heard her moving in her room maybe 5:50 before I took a shower.
You just heard her in her room?
Yeah, that's what.
Where's her room?
Downstairs. She has all her makeup upstairs as well.
When Basil arrived at the house, sergeants with Farmington Hills PD formally informed him of his wife's death. Basil fell to his knees, overwhelmed with shock and grief. The scene of Nada's supposed accident troubled investigators. According to Aya, neither she nor her brother had moved or even shifted their mother after discovering her on the patio. Nada was found by paramedics lying on her back, an unusual position to land from an accidental fall. Responding Officer Jordan was also confused by the lack of blood, another unsettling indication that the impact had not been the cause of her death.
Thank you.
Then there was the state of the guest bedroom. A bucket at the base of the wall below the open window was undisturbed. So too was the ladder on which Nada had apparently been standing when she fell. The bottle of cleaner on the top step also remained in place. A Band-Aid was stuck to the bottom window ledge that appeared to have been torn off when the fall took place. What was described as opaque dried spray was observed on the outside of the closed window to the left. Investigators deduced that the Tilex cleaner had been sprayed onto it, leaving streaks from the top to the bottom. Tilex, of course, is not a window cleaner. A printed towel was next to Nada on the patio. It had a chemical scent similar to a cleaner, or perhaps something much stronger. The towel was taken as evidence for forensic testing. There were no signs of forced entry into the house. Investigators did find that cameras were set up around the exterior of the property. Basil informed detectives that he did not believe the DVR system even worked and that he was uncertain how to access it. Nonetheless, he gave them permission to take a look. It seems that the cameras were functional, and one of these cameras was positioned just outside the side patio. The guest bedroom window was not within frame of the security camera. However, it did record shadows cast on the opposite wall. Officers initially viewing the footage recorded it via a handheld camera, seeking to record what they saw immediately. Later, a better quality copy was downloaded and analyzed. At 5:53 a.m., the light to Nada's makeup room, the guest bathroom, was turned on. The shadow of a person appeared and opened the window. It is obvious that two individuals are inside the room. Moments later, a figure is seen dragging Nada towards the window. The figure lifts her from the floor and appears to hoist her to the ledge. Nada is pushed from the window. Above her, the shadow is captured, standing for a brief moment, perhaps peering below before the individual is seen moving about the room. The light is briefly turned off and then back on again. It appeared to investigators that the ladder was moved to the window at that point. The killer was staging the scene. When the medical examiner completed the autopsy, the results confirmed what the camera footage showed. They concluded that Nada's cause of death was asphyxiation. She was dead before she was pushed from the window.
Okay.
Indeed, she was killed long before, likely hours before she was pushed out the window, later to be found by her children. 35-year-old Nada Huranieh had lived her life for her children. The personal trainer was described by friends as compassionate, eager, and enthusiastic to do better for her kids. She was a very active person, often spotted by neighbors out jogging. They said that Nada had been a ceaselessly happy person. Regardless of what was going on in her life, she always had a smile on her face. And there hadn't always been a reason to smile. Conflict had been brewing in her personal life. Nada died 2 days before a scheduled hearing for her pending divorce. Her marriage to Basil Altantawi had lasted nearly 20 years. They had wed in Syria in 1999. Nada filed for divorce following an incident on Valentine's Day 2016, when her husband allegedly threw her down a flight of stairs. Basil denied the incident, but nonetheless pleaded guilty to spousal abuse.
Whoa, he threw her down a flight of stairs. Not to be that guy, but what do y'all think the over or under is on him being the person who did it? Why are you pushing her down the steps on Valentine's Day? What the hell?
He was
Let's she
placed on
get
a
you a gift.
tether and given conditions that included having no contact with his estranged wife for 2 years and having only supervised visitation with their children. All of this occurred in tandem with the dissolution of his professional life. That same year, he was charged with multiple counts of Medicaid and healthcare fraud while working as an internal medicine physician in Canton. In January of 2017, he was sentenced to 1 day in jail and nearly $280,000 in fines.
Okay, them fines are crazy. Yeah.
According to divorce filings, the doctor, who once had an annual income in excess of $350,000, found himself unable to work as a physician or meet previous court-ordered support payments for his family. He said he was no longer able to support them in what he called their lavish lifestyle in Farmington Hills. The doctor complained of Nada going on shopping trips and racking up thousands of dollars in credit card charges at upscale clothing stores. The father also expressed concerns that his children were being Americanized by his wife, in contrast to their Syrian and Islamic roots. It was not surprising that Basil was scrutinized carefully by investigators in the wake of his wife's murder. However, no camera at the property recorded anyone entering or leaving throughout the night. Only Nada and her 3 children were at home, and the conditions of Basil's bond restricted him from visiting the Farmington Hills house. His movements were tracked by an ankle monitor. This data verified that he did in fact violate this condition and enter the property, but only after Nada had been found dead and police insisted he come to the house to be with his children. Basil was not anywhere near the house when the murder took place.
Based off this information, if you would have took the over, you would have lost your bread. But maybe he finesse.
Less than an hour after the fall, Aya and Muhammad found Nada and placed the call to 911. The camera captured Aya handing the phone to her older brother to perform CPR. She ran back and forth from the scene to the end of the drive, where she was flagging down emergency services and leading them around the side of the house to assist her mother. The camera also captured Muhammad as he began lending his mother medical assistance. Or rather, it showed him either pretending to perform CPR or doing so extremely poorly. The 16-year-old did not appear to be applying any pressure. Investigators aligned the security camera footage of Muhammad while he was on the patio with his mother to the 911 call audio. They found that on 2 occasions, while speaking with the operator, the teenager took notable breaks in his CPR efforts. What he did not do was verbally stop counting the compressions. It sounded as though he was diligently fighting to save her life, even as he paused and simply sat next to her.
So that's what we heard
As
earlier.
Aya and Officer Jordan approached, he was captured, beginning to push harder. The officer recounted, however, that when the teen first came into view, it appeared that he was holding his cell phone in his right hand and simply tapping on his mother with his left.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
You're doing really good. Keep going.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
A cursory search of the home had been conducted on the 21st, the day Nada was found. Later, Farmington Hills police returned with a search warrant and performed a more thorough inspection. That morning, they had observed a number of items in a front-loading washing machine that was flashing an error code. Through the glass door, a tan bath mat was visible. In the dryer, a pair of Muhammad's blue jeans and a shirt. It was not a full load of clothing. Small white-colored flakes had come out in the water, likely the coating to the bath mat. This mat, along with the chemical-scented towel found next to Nada and others located throughout the house, were taken in for analysis. It was speculated that one of these had been used to kill Nada, perhaps soaked in a poisonous liquid that had incapacitated her. There were certainly a variety of possible poisons. Throughout the house, in the garage in particular, were containers of weed killer, insecticides, and rodent poisons. Searchers found bottles of antifreeze, bleach, and various paints. All of these were collected for testing. After viewing the camera footage, detectives returned to the house and requested that all family members attend formal interviews at the police station. Basil refused. However, he left the detectives in the house while he collected Aya from the school library. He gave them permission to speak with Muhammad in the house alone.
So what time does she normally go to bed?
Normally I'd say around 10, maybe, late 9:30.
9:30 or 10? Do you recall what time she went to bed last night?
Around late 7, maybe early 8, I think.
You know why she'd go to bed 3 hours earlier, or?
No. Like I said, we didn't really talk much yesterday, so.
Well, yes, you mean Sunday night? Sunday night going into Monday. Okay.
How are you? Do you and your mom get along well?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty normal. We've been pretty normal for like a while. Like the only time I told you this morning, we kind of had issues, you could say, is at the beginning of like the divorce case, but that's about it.
How long has that been going
on? Nearly 2 years, a year and a half now.
Muhammad told an officer at the scene that he woke that morning at 6:30 a.m. To detectives, he said he was actually awake earlier at 6. He stated that he remained in his room from the time that he went to bed until Aya began calling for him the next morning.
Did you get up at all during the night? Were you walking around anywhere? Nothing. So you go to sleep at 11:30, you don't hear anything, don't see anything, don't come out of your room. Get up at 6-ish,
Yeah.
and you go into the bathroom, you take a shower.
Yeah.
You're getting ready for school.
Yeah.
Okay, and then your sister, how should she knock on the door? She call you? What happened?
I heard her scream in the makeup room, and then I ran to her and she answered me. I'm just like, I'm on the phone. We have to do this, and then I'm like, okay, so I'm outside.
Okay.
Detectives informed Muhammad that the cameras around the house were functional, a fact that the teen was previously unaware. He was also told that they caught something, or rather, someone, at the window with his mother. Detectives suggested multiple times that what they saw could still have been an accident. Perhaps Muhammad was assisting his mother with her cleaning when she tripped and fell. He could have been holding the ladder and become distracted, if only for a moment, and that split-second distraction had proven fatal. If such a scenario occurred, no one was to blame, they told him.
Now, we noticed that, there's a security system here. Do you know how that works?
No, I wasn't even aware of that. We had more cameras.
The detectives pump faking because
We want to get a resolution to this. I know you do too. Accidents happen all the time. Somebody could be helping somebody with something, holding a ladder or something like that, and something happens. That's why we need to know what happened. And that's why we're looking to you, because you're the oldest and we've watched the video. And we're trying to see what your input into this is as far as how your mother ended up falling out the window.
I mean, is there any specific question you can ask me? Where should I go from?
I want you to start at the beginning. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so I woke up 6 o'clock, and then, my sister's awake already, she's also getting ready. And then I assumed my other sister was getting ready, so.
Did your sister see what happened?
Yeah, she's the one who found out, you could say.
I'm sorry?
She's the one who found out, the whole scene or whatever.
Was she there when it happened? Or were you there when it happened?
No, I don't know if I don't want to say anything about my sister, but I just know that she was awake before me.
Somebody was there. We know that. It's on video.
I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to say anything about my sister, but
I mean, just try to blame his sister.
Yeah, she was awake before me.
Detectives told Muhammad that the figure they viewed on camera had short hair. The person was male. It had to be him. The teen proceeded to offer 2 more versions of events. In the first, he recounted seeing his mother that morning and bringing her a spray bottle to clean the window. Then he left the room and she fell. In the next version, he was holding the ladder when she tripped and he saw her go over, but he did not cause her to.
We just need to know.
It's my mom's life, man.
I believe neither.
Muhammad, I understand that. I understand that wholeheartedly. We just need to know why, so we don't look into this further, okay? What happened? Muhammad, it's all right.
Okay, so when I woke up, like I told you, she was going upstairs to clean the window and stuff like that. I didn't really overlook it. I was going downstairs to drink water first, so I thought she was going to do her makeup. And then I went back upstairs, and then she was cleaning the window, and then she's like, "Bring me something to clean the window with." So I had brought her the spray bottle, and then she already had a ladder in there, or the stool, or whatever it's called. She was taking the thing off, screen off, and then before I left the room, she was getting up on the window. She told me to just be there so I could help her with the ladder, hold on it, because it was shaking a little bit. So I came over. She tried to, I don't know.
Just tell us. You've gone this far, bud.
She went on the ladder. She sprayed it already, and then she tried to lean over. I was standing there, holding the ladder, You're just looking around, not really. I mean, I'm holding it. I don't think I'm supposed to look at it the whole time. And then she leans over and she trips, and then something got stuck on. I don't know what it was, so I went over like that, and then that's when she fell, and I didn't know what to do, so I just went to take a shower because I thought I was dreaming or whatever. I wanted something else to happen.
What?
After roughly 40 minutes, Basil returned to the house. He quickly brought an end to the interview. The doctor promptly hired his son, an attorney. When investigators obtained Mohammed's cell phone records, they found that he had 50 phone calls to one number on the day of the murder, beginning at 4:27 a.m. and continuing through that evening. The number was listed in his contacts as Love. 8 of the calls were placed before 5 a.m. that day. Looking back months, investigators did not identify him and continuing through that evening. The number was listed in his contacts as Love. 8 of the calls were placed before 5 a.m. that day. Looking back months, investigators did not identify.
Bro, I need closed captions. What the hell are he saying?
A.m. and continuing through that evening. The number was listed in his contacts as Love. 8 of the calls were placed before 5 a.m. that day. Looking back months, investigators did not identify any other day with a similar call history. Many of the calls lasted just a handful of seconds, while others went unanswered, including one from the unidentified phone to Mohammed's at 5:55 a.m., the time when the cameras captured Nada's drop from the window. When a search warrant was obtained and his iPhone was unlocked, investigators determined the identity of Love. It was Mohammed's father, Basil Altantawi. There was a history of messages between Basil and his son stretching back months, in which Mohammed would share photos, videos, and audio recordings with his father. These included conversations with his mother. In contrast to his father, Love, Nada's contact was saved in his phone under the name Dog.
That's crazy work.
Her son secretly recorded exchanges between Nada and her divorce attorney. Then he forwarded these to his father. A screenshot from the month before her death showed a conversation between Nada and her son. She wrote that she had knowledge of Basil's criminal activity that could send him to prison. She wrote that she didn't open her mouth about it out of concern for how it could be used. That screenshot was promptly forwarded to Basil. It's unclear what incriminating information Nada was referring to, but it was clear from Mohammed's response that he considered his mother's words to be a threat to his father. One particularly disturbing photo was sent to Basil 3 weeks before the murder. It was of the window in the second-floor guest bedroom. An undated search was conducted for how to remove a window screen. Investigators also uncovered a search at 8:10 a.m. on the morning of her death. While responders worked to secure the scene, Mohammed searched how to erase a computer. The 16-year-old was arrested and charged with the murder of his mother. Police released little information about the role played by his father, stating only that there was not enough evidence to bring charges against the elder Altantawi. The case against young Mohammed was a strong one. Those close to the family explained that the teen, unlike his sisters, was more like his father, described as a traditional Muslim. While his sisters were happy to go shopping with their mother and generally embrace American culture, Mohammed, apparently, was not. He disapproved of her lifestyle, the independence she had gained as a personal trainer, and he resented her decision to leave his father. Witnesses further asserted that the devoted son worried that his parents' divorce would further alienate his family from the local Syrian and Islamic community. Tensions between Mohammed and Nada had been growing in.
But what is... I'm sorry, if that second reason is one of the reasons, that's crazy because what do they think about taking your mother out of the game? Brother, are you drunk?
Recent months. At the end of an argument between the two roughly a week before her death, Aya told police that Mohammed yelled at his mother. It doesn't matter because she would get what was coming to her. When the case finally went to trial, years later due to appeals and the pandemic, the state argued that Mohammed smothered his mother with a toxin-doused cloth in her makeup room. They were unable, however, to identify the chemical used or where exactly he sourced it from. This theory accounted for how the athletic 35-year-old had no defensive wounds, and her accused killer, likewise, did not show injuries consistent with a struggle. The room where the attack allegedly took place also failed to show signs of the murder. The assertion that Nada was approached while in the bathroom of the guest suite was based on the cameras capturing the lights from this room illuminating minutes before she was dragged from that direction towards the window. Defense attorneys criticized police for not vetting other men who could have killed Nada. They pointed out that a fellow fitness instructor whom she had been seeing had successfully snuck into the house on previous occasions without the children's knowledge. If this friend could, so too could her killer, they argued.
I guess.
Then there was the issue of Mohammed's changing story. The teenager had not been read his rights before the audio-recorded interview, the one in which he placed himself in the room with his mother. Legally, this custodial interrogation was meant to occur only after he had been made aware of his right to remain silent, had consulted with an attorney, and had one present during questioning. Muhammad's legal team argued that the teen had parroted the story to detectives that they had fed him. He placed himself in the room because they told him that is what had happened. The Michigan Court of Appeals ruled that his statements, for the most part, could not be presented at trial. Regardless, after just over a week of testimony, it took an Oakland County jury just 2 hours before returning with their verdict.
Oh yeah, he's guilty.
Guilty of first-degree murder.
Whenever it's like this, yeah, ain't guilty.
Muhammad was 20 years old by the time he came before Judge Martha Anderson to be sentenced. The convicted murderer was representing himself at the hearing. He spoke for hours in what has been described as a senseless rant during which he forcefully maintained his innocence.
5 years ago, I got arrested for, as I said, the worst crime imaginable. MDOC's requested sentence for 40 to 80 years. I don't care.
You don't care. You got sentenced for the worst crime. No apology? I'm sorry I did this. I deserve this crime. I mean, punishment. What the fuck?
Oh man, and for her to die at 35 years old, a terrible death by any means, I wish I could change. Oh man.
His mother wasn't taken away, she wasn't killed. He murdered her. Murdered her.
When Basil Altantawi stood to make his victim impact statement, Judge Anderson lost her patience. Instead of speaking about his wife and the loss of the mother of his children,
this nigga Basil. Hey man, petty till death, clearly. Because what is he doing? Like, man, your son just altered his life forever and took your ex-wife out the game. Would you like to please show some compassion for her? I understand it's your son, but damn.
The disgraced doctor chose to speak in support of his son, who he characterized as another victim.
He's been convicted, wrongfully convicted, also that impacted me and his sister.
That's not what the victim impact statement is about, sir.
He was a loving, and he's still a loving, caring, supportive human being.
I want you to be quiet. You are not the victim.
He, I said he, not I.
But if he's talking about you, sir, he's referring to you as a victim. You are not the victim here.
When Basil was finished speaking, his daughter Aya was forced from the courtroom. She was yelling at her father in a rage. Aya had grown estranged from both her father and brother. She believed that they were both guilty of murder, but only one of them was paying for it.
Oh, this is sad. Their family is cooked. My brother, one decision just cooked the whole family. And you talking about being estranged from the Syrian and Muslim community. It's Islamic community. I don't want war. What's wrong with him? I'm confused.
Aya continued to speak out, defending herself against her brother.
I'm gonna kill her.
Brother.
Eventually, the sentence was handed down. 35 to 60 years in prison.
You dig it?
So it is the sentence of this court with respect to the one count of homicide, murder in the first degree, premeditated, that you be sentenced to 35 years to 60 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections. You have 1,858 days of jail credit.
Outside of the court, Aya told reporters that she had tried to empathize with her brother, but that the previous 5 years had been extremely difficult, and he showed no signs of remorse.
He can die today and I would not go to his funeral. I would throw a party instead. Like, I don't care about him.
Those who...
Damn. That's crazy work. It's not even that crazy. It is kind of crazy, but I mean, it's understandable. Like, you took your mom out the game. Also, recording this on Mother's Day is kind of diabolical, by the way.
New Nada Huranieh said that she would have been very proud of her daughter, who grew into a strong and outspoken woman. The youngest of the 3 children is in the custody of her father.
That's scarier.
That was the tragic case of Nada Huranieh. Thank you for joining me, and a special thanks to John Baum and Paul Hudson for joining our Members Lounge. Your extra support is really appreciated. I'm Kevin, this is Just Thought Lounge, and I'll see you in the next one.
Good video, Kevin. Rest in peace to Nada. Almost said her daughter name. You was cooking. I'm sorry. Like, I know it's kind of weird that you had to go through this situation, but I'm glad some people just be like, he's crazy. Get him out of here. Like, I understand people be having forgiveness in their hearts, but I'm glad to see somebody said, nah, that's beyond me. Bro, I'm tired of this. Somebody get on their like, what did your mom do to deserve this, mom? Can you explain to me? No, you can't at all. Like, she's breaking up with my dad, bro. He threw her down the stairs, gang. Are you okay, my guy? Oh, that was a tragic ass case. Very, very sad, cause nigga, your own son, he planted, he literally screamed at you and said, yeah, you ain't gotta worry about, cause you ain't about to be here longer. 911. Terroristic threat. What the that's the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video, share your thoughts on the video in the comment section below. Hit notification bell so you can stay up to date when I drop videos on this channel. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, y'all.
Baby, slide by to my mausoleum. She got sushi